The new WorldBox update added, wait, hold up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. New WorldBox update added 26 new humanoid species, as you can see right here on the bottom. And today, due to your ability to read the title of the video, I'm going to be spawning all of them in, and then we're going to be following them without any interference from me for 1,000 years. This means they can attack, they can go to war if they want. They can merge kingdoms, they can be racist if they want, I don't know. They can do whatever they want. I am not going to interfere. So we're going to take our species. This is the biggest size map, and I made it so there's as little water as possible so they can all have room to expand. So let me spawn these guys in. Now everyone should be spawned in, so with the press of my spacebar, we should see the world light up with life. Wow, look at that. That actually was pretty cool. So my guess is a lot of these guys are going to be very racist. But what has racism ever stopped anybody? Quite a lot. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, a lot of times. So every kingdom has roughly 100 people. Some have a bit more, some have a few less. But in general, these kingdoms are all relatively evenly spaced out, and they're going to have plenty of time to expand, I assure you. Now, I say before we start, how about we favorite a few people to hold on to and see if they can live. And just for a bit of fun, how about we turn off old age for creatures? That way we can see if somehow one of these creatures survives for all 1,000 years. That'd be really cool, I think. So first, let's go into the penguins. Let's take a random penguin. What about this dude? Waka. No, we're going to name him Jackal. We're going to favorite him. I'm not going to change anything about him, but let's see if he's still alive. Next up, how about we take, let's take a chicken. Bagu. Let's name this guy Chica. She is Chica, but with her fragile health and her unlucky self, I doubt she'll be alive very much longer. And let's take one more favorite. How about a turtle? I've never seen Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but one of them's name is, Michelangelo. That is most definitely not how you spell it. Honestly, not that far off, actually. But anyway, those are our 3 favorites, and as soon as we click this button, Civ Babies and Kingdom Expansion, these guys will begin to try to kill each other, probably. So we're going to see what happened, but as for right now, there's not really much to do, so we are going to sim to a quarter of the way there, also known as year 250. So it's time for your favorite thing, a time lapse. What kind of music should we put on this time? Let's put on smooth jazz, how about that? And after God knows how long for me, we're right, yeah, year 250. Great. I don't sound very excited because that took me way too long. Of course, for you guys, you had nice smooth jazz for 30 seconds, jeez. But a lot in our world has already changed. Some of these kingdoms have kind of just shifted spots. We have bulls all the way up here in the top right now. Even the dogs have moved up. It's kind of weird just how much stuff has shifted, but let's take a look at all the species that have been destroyed. And we can do that by going down here on the bottom tab to look at all of our humanoid species and see which ones are grayed out. So at the moment, the only ones that have been completely wiped out are the wolves, the Halliers, which is actually kind of shocking me. Oh, sorry, the hyenas are gone too. That's shocking how only 2 are gone, because if you look here, there's only a few dominant ones left. But if you look more specific in detail, we have 1 monkey left, 23 rabbits left, 2 foxes, 3 cows, 45 capybaras, 4 bears, 5 piranhas, and 67 reptiloids. So those are all the endangered species that we probably aren't going to see any more of when we come back. But remember, these guys are all immortal. You gotta remember that everyone here is immortal, so as long as they don't die, they will live forever. And as for my precious favorite units, drumroll please. They're all dead, all of them. I was kind of watching the time lapse. I saw the little star for a while there, but I guess they just died at some point. So now let's take a look at the kingdoms. It looks like most dominant kingdom is the sheep kingdom, who has 1 kingdom over here and it's a ton over here on the right. And then we have this bull kingdom with nearly 1,200 people too. But all in all, that's kind of what's happened. But guys, let's be real here. Look at the world population, 8,900. Let me just unpause my game. Note, we are on 40 times speed right here. This is how fast my game is going. This is 40 times the normal speed. And this is how fast I can move my camera around. And look how choppy it is. It's terrible. So, for the sake of my PC, we're going to have to make a decision here. We're going to have to turn on angry villagers. Just so this world population starts falling and my game can actually run more than the speed of like a PS2, okay? But, of course, I will name some of these kingdoms too. We could follow them. So we have the Kingdom of Ribbiting here. We'll name them Super Sheep. I didn't even mean to have caps lock on, but we do. We'll name the Bulls the Plains Empire. I don't know, I'm just making stuff up. And how about we name this Dog Kingdom up here in the top left? The Doggos, why not? Let's just keep track of these kingdoms to see if they're still alive. And how about we track some people too? Let's find 3 random citizens. There's a penguin right here, and we will name him Jackal 2. Let's take one of these bulls too. How about we'll take this 1-year-old bull, name them Bully. And lastly, let's take some random species. How about we let's take a snake, and we will name this guy Snez. So here are 3 guys left. Pick your favorite. Make your bets. Are any of them still going to be alive in 250 years? Who knows? Probably not. And look at our 3 little kingdoms here we set out. Will they still exist? Will they not? Because who knows? I mean, rebellions is on. Anything can happen. And now that everyone in the game is slightly more racist, surely my game will move a bit faster. And right before we head to year 500, which is going to be our next interval, let's take a look at the interesting people. So the most known is an Angle. The highest level is this dog named Waff with level 25, and he's an original. He's 258 years old. Same with these guys. Looking at the oldest here, we still have several people. All these guys are armadillos who are still alive from the very start. The richest is this dude named Bo, the king of the sheep, with 63,000 coins. I don't even know what coins do, like I said, but still. Oh my god. Look how many traits a scorpion has. These are all natural too. He is the strongest person in the world with 107 attack power. But now, it is time for the time lapse. This time, I think we'll just go with the music that's already playing and we'll just make it louder. So how about that? And here we finally are at year 500. I've been recording for over an hour and a half now, and this is how far we've gotten. My addition of racism has had mild success. The population's down quite a bit. But it's, well, let me just click on pause. It's still not necessarily going at the speed of light, let's say. But regardless, we're here at year 500, and a lot has changed again. You may have seen all of our 3 kingdoms have been destroyed, and they have been replaced by a couple of them. The biggest kingdoms now are Goog, Niche, and Mylam. And of course, there's still a bunch of species fighting around. So let's check out what species are still alive. So we have a lot more species eliminated now. The monkeys are finally gone. The cows are finally gone. The foxes are completely gone. The rabbits are completely gone. The bears are gone. The penguins are now gone, and the napkins are gone. And in terms of endangered species, I would only say there's 2. The goats only have 5 people left, and the crabs only have 3 people left, and the reptiloids only have 27 left. But as for the rest of these guys, they all have over 100 still left, so they're doing good. The most populous species is the Armorox. And time to look at our favorites. All dead. I didn't expect much more. Well, taking a look at the map, there's just a lot going on here. I mean, we have scorpions and kingdoms named Meow. How about we take a look at culture? Because culture can spread across multiple species. That's a lot of cultures. Looks like the biggest culture is actually a monkey culture. But the monkeys don't exist anymore. Founder species, monkey. But the monkeys just are gone now. We can actually look at the population demographic here, and there are members from all walks of life here. We have rhinos, we have, I believe, every species still alive. Hell, there's even a skeleton. There's 49 cultures in total. Well, that's great. But before we move it up to year 750, which is our last check before the year 1000, let's check some interesting people again. The most known is a cat. Highest level is a bull who does not have a single kill, but is somehow level 45. The oldest is a grasshopper. It was 491 years old. Most kills is a turtle with 27, so good for him. And I actually just want to take a quick look at the population pyramid, because remember, there's no population limit, so there can be people at any age. And look at this. It's still extremely common to find people between, 0 and 70 like normal. But I mean, there's ages up there. We have dozens, we have hundreds of people into the several hundreds range, all the way up to 490 like that grasshopper we saw. But for the sake of my PC, I think we need to get slightly more racist. So I'm going to take the 3 highest cultures by population, and I'm going to make them racist. This should hopefully help shed the world of some unnecessary people, because I would like my game to go a bit faster than a PowerPoint presentation. So alas, it'll be another 30 seconds for you guys, but like 2 hours for me. As we're about 15 years in here, before we get to year 750, I just want to note 2 things. First of all, I forgot to mention this. At year 1000, we are going to send all remaining kingdoms to war, with only 1 species still alive. Just, give you a little reason to keep watching. But also, let me pick my 3 favorites. So how about we pick 1 out of each of the 3 remaining big kingdoms? So we'll take this guy, Szynki, and we'll just name him Szynki looks like Czech. And he's actually a pretty powerful dude himself. So he's still there. Then we'll go to the kingdom of Niche. We'll take 1 of the turtles here. We'll name him Donatello. That was 1 of the turtles, right? And lastly, we'll head into Mellon, where we'll take, how about a rat? And we'll name him Ratus Prime. And now we can continue with the scrappy little time lapse. There you go. And finally, after 45 minutes for me, about 45 seconds for you, we're at year 750. And we are 3/4 of the way there to year 1000. And once again, a lot has changed. I'm immediately noticing the kingdom of Niche and the kingdom of Armash are still here. Those ones were here last time, but everything else, at least as far as I know, is completely different. But actually, I'm checking age right here. This kingdom of Zaktek and this kingdom of Mocha were actually both here as well. And I'm noticing some resurgences here. The capybaras, it's like they may have resurged quite a bit. They were small. And possibly same thing with the crabs too. Looks like they have 2 kingdoms here, which they were down to like 3 people, I believe. But well, I guess we should probably check population. So we have a lot of species gone. The chickens are gone. So it's hard to remember which ones we had, but I think the sheep are gone. They weren't gone last time. The armadillos are almost eliminated, down to just 16. The rats are almost gone, down to just 2. The charmacas are down to just 9. The goats are eliminated. The crabs have gone up from 2 to 174. The turtles are up at 1800. They are dominating the world now. The snakes are gone. The reptiloids are almost eliminated. The rest of the kingdoms have kind of shifted. The cats are doing fine. The dogs are doing okay. A lot of stuff is going on here. The kingdoms are still fighting, or still at war, but this is honestly going to make a pretty good fight come year 1000 when they all fight for real. But let's check if any of the favorites are still alive. No, they're not. Well, let's check some interesting people here, and then we can skip over to year 1000 through another time lapse that'll take me God knows how long. Like I said, my computer's running about as slow as... I'm actually think I'm out of analogies here, but it's pretty slow. Wow! I'm looking immediately at the oldest. This grasshopper named Ew at 740 years old is still alive. The highest levels, we have a couple cows. Actually, I believe this cow right here was actually alive when we checked last, and he was also the biggest level too. Now he's at level 63. We're gonna favorite him, and because maybe if we favorite someone really overpowered, they have a chance of still being alive. This cow is completely natural and has over 1500 health. Somehow the smartest creature is a butterfly, the fastest is a cat, and the strongest is an armor rock, which makes sense. He's actually wielding a flame sword. How about we favorite him too? We will name him Rhino Slayer or something. Actually, that's a bad name because he is a rhino, but whatever, who cares? And how about we rename this cow? How about we rename this bull too? We'll just name him... Here, how about Bully too? Because that other guy was named Bully. Alright, and this guy has a flame sword too, so how about we favorite the guy with the most kills, who has 22 kills, and we'll name him demon slayer turtle. Guys, I've been recording for 2.5 hours. Cut me a break here. So let's look at the 3 biggest kingdoms left before we move on. We have the kingdom of Hippie Mimpi. I'm just gonna name this to the Turtle Kingdom. Then we still have the kingdom of Niche, kingdom of Mocha, and the kingdom of Armash. Keep notes of all of those as we slide into year 1000, where the final war will begin, and we'll see who's still alive. Because right now, I'm actually checking it again right here. Half of the species have been wiped out. We have 250 years left, so enjoy the time lapse once again, as I have to sit here all alone, bored. Aww. And hey, if you guys are still watching right now, why not join my Discord or even become a channel member if you want to help support me out? Links to those are in the description, and enjoy the rest of this awesome time lapse. And finally, here we are at year, wait for it, 1000. And I've been recording for literally over 3 hours now. Now, of course, that'll be shortened down into like a 15-minute video for you guys. But I'm the one putting in all the work here, so the least you could do is slide me a like or a subscribe or something. Maybe join my Discord, I don't know. But anyway, we can see what has changed. And you know, I really like just like watching this. Like, it'll be easy, I guess it's better in time-lapse. How these kingdoms rise and fall. We had the crabs grow up here, then they fell, then they're actually growing again. We had that turtle kingdom up here in the left that lasted for a very long time, but they eventually fell. All the kingdoms have fallen. This kingdom of Madam right here, as we can see, has lasted for a long time. And this kingdom of Janky here has also lasted for a long time. But these were not players at year 750. They were very small kingdoms, but we've seen them rise and grow. We can also see like how like the species have like shifted over. You see the frogs up here. This is where they were spawned in, up here in the north. But then we also have a frog kingdom all the way down here in the south. So it's interesting just to see how everyone's changed. But as for the kingdoms, like I said, Janky and Madam are the biggest kingdoms now. In terms of favorited creatures, let's take a look. There's 2 still alive. Bully 2, that bull who had a ton of HP, is still alive with 33 kills now, and he's 767 years old. Jeez. And next up we have the Rhino Slayer guy. So I guess that Demon Slayer guy, the other guy we had died. And he's still alive too, now up to 40 kills. Jeez. And looking on the road, it looks pretty chaotic. Let's take a look at interesting people. The most known is this Scorpion. He looks awesome. Let's just take a look at him for a second. Jeez, he looks cool as hell. He's even a King Slayer, wow. He's 41 kills, level 47. Jeez, this guy is overpowered. The oldest is another grasshopper named Ill at 988 years old. Once again, the smartest is still a butterfly, an 880-year-old butterfly at that. And the strongest is a rhino with 163 potential damage. Once again, looking at the population pyramid now, it's just very elongated now. You see, there are very few people up here in the 700, 800-year-old range. It skips, it goes down, and then suddenly at around 210, it starts getting wider and wider all the way to the bottom. And since we're here, let's take a look at some death stats too. Over 146,000 people have died. And remember, we have old age turned off, so there are almost no natural deaths. I'm not even sure how there were natural deaths here, actually. 6,500 deaths from hunger, 8,900 deaths from creatures being eaten, 32,000 deaths from burning, which I guess makes sense because we don't really have much water on this map. 83,000 deaths from conflict, from war. That's how many people have died from just pure fighting. Somehow, despite having barely any water in the world, 8 people have drowned. Not sure how. 506 cities have been destroyed. 3,800 subspecies have gone extinct. 18,000 houses have been destroyed. This world is just pain and suffering. Maybe we could look more at the positive here. 800 books written, 22,000 books read, 700 books burned. Oh, jeez. Hey, 207 religions created and 150 forgotten. Just looking at this, all the stuff that's been made and destroyed, 44,000 families, 42,000 destroyed. But before we start this big war, let's take one last look at what species are still alive. So immediately, I don't notice anything much different. The cats still have 500. The dogs are down to just 1. They got wiped out. I thought they had several hundred last time. The armadars are down to just 1 too. Everything else over here has been eliminated. The armor racks and bulls have actually both gone up in population. The chill bars are around the same, I think, than they did last time. The scorps are doing okay. The crablins are actually still growing. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are over 2,000 people now. I believe the reptiloids are destroyed now, and the rivets frogs are up to 700 now. We started with 26 and we're down to just 10 species left. But let's have them have a big fight now. I'm going to turn off diplomacy, turn off rebellion. All current wars should be over, and we are going to send spite over every kingdom. Every kingdom should now be at war. And this is going to make my game tank even more. But at the end of this, there should only be one kingdom left. There still might be multiple subspecies left or species left, but there will only be one kingdom, and that's where we can end this video. World population's finally starting to tank. This might actually be the thing I need to help my game run faster. Oh yes, it's beautiful. Yes, let my PC run faster. Beautiful. All the fighting. Look at all just the destruction. I haven't really looked into the map as much. I've been looking from afar this whole time. But look at all the different houses, all the destroyed houses. This is a destroyed crab kingdom here. I'm not even sure who this belonged to. World population now is down to just 2,400, half what it was. And look how fast my game's moving now. Look at, woo, moving around, right? Ooh. Looks like, as expected, the kingdom of Janky is probably going to win. But we can speed up time even more here and just watch from afar as the kingdoms destroy one another. Look at the leftover here. Just look at all the new announcements coming in. Let's do another round of spite to make sure everyone's still at war. It's hard to see. Oh, it looks like Bully 2. He's dead, but Rhino Slayer is still alive. Oh wow, the kingdom of Janky is actually starting to lose to these scorpions over here. They're actually pretty evenly sized now. All the small kingdoms at this point are pretty much eliminated. World population is down to just 1,500 now and dropping. My game's still laggy. Maybe next time, two things. Maybe I should just never do a 1,000-year challenge again, but I like doing them. Or maybe I shouldn't pick the biggest map in the game to do it. I probably could have spawned every civilization on like the 5th biggest map or something, but no, I had to do this. Janky is now at a disadvantage as the Scorpions, who were definitely an underdog, looks like they have the best chance of winning now. These kingdoms down here at the south are still fledgling, but not much is going here. The cats have now essentially been wiped out. Down to just one cat left. But you know, the cat's influence on the world still needs to be seen. Like, villages are still being named like Meow and stuff, even though the cats are long gone. So I appreciate them for that. It's impossible to see who's gonna win or lose. We pretty much have 4 kingdoms left and they're all weak as hell. Rhino Slayer is still alive with 63 kills. It's like a 3-kingdom war right here and they're all really far apart. And the Scorpions have pretty much destroyed all the other kingdoms. Just a small remnant of the kingdom of Janky and Moo Madam's gone and just this Hippie Moo kingdom's left. And they're not going to be very long for this world, I don't feel. And there we go. The last person. Oh, there's still a couple people left. Oh, did the war technically end? Wait, but then how is there a king if the war... You know, let's just not worry about this, okay? The war is over. Everyone's all destroyed. I'm just launching nukes because I feel like it, dude. I've been here for 3.5 hours. It's finally time I did something, right? Good job to the Scorpions for being our winners, and that was me following every new species for 1,000 years. Of course, I'm sure that video was very enjoyable for you guys with your nice little time lapses, but it was absolute hell for me. So why not subscribe? Like, I just put in 3 hours of my life I could be using to do literally anything else for this. Anyways, that'll be it for this video, so make sure to like, subscribe, you know, do all that, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. Look how fast my game's going now on times 40 speed. This is awesome. Yes.